iPhone 14's launch is around the corner, and I thought it would be a good idea to take a brief look at one of the best phones launched last year and see if this is still a good buy in 2022. Before getting into the video, if you're new here, my name is Amit, and I would really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. And in case you love this video and want to watch more like these, don't forget to subscribe the channel so you can stay up to date with the reviews and comparisons I do here. With that out of the way, let's get back to the review. There are numerous things to talk about this phone, but I'm gonna focus on 5 major highlights that make this phone really special. And in between, I'll keep highlighting the negatives I experienced in each of these areas. The very first thing that pulled me toward iPhone 13 Pro was its design and form factor. And I'm in no doubt this represents the best build quality and design you can imagine in a phone. iPhone 13 Pro retains the flat edges of iPhone 12 Pro with beautiful frosted glass back panel and luxurious stainless steel frame, which integrates so well to create something extremely simple yet so elegant. iPhone 13 Pro is one of the best looking phones out there, and it gets even better when you have it in your hands. I had been using a 6.7-inch phone earlier, and after using this phone for around 3 months, I'm in love with this size and form factor. I think this is the most optimum size of the phone when it comes to balancing out function and comfort. Physically, it is neither as big as my previous phone or most of the flagships out there, nor is it as small to diminish the user experience while consuming content or playing games. Its accommodating size makes it so much easier to operate this phone and navigate around iOS even with one hand. One thing that bothers me is the camera bump on the back. It is significantly larger when compared to iPhone 12 Pro. The lenses and the square around them stick out quite noticeably, and the phone is far from flat when laying on table or desk. The iPhone 13 Pro comes equipped with 3 12-megapixel rear cameras, including a telephoto lens offering a 77mm focal length and a 3x optical zoom compared to 2.5x zoom of iPhone 12 Pro. The main camera features a larger sensor and a wider aperture this year at f1.5 to allow 49% more light than before. The ultra-wide camera also received a larger aperture and a better autofocus for sharper and super wide-angle shots. It's in low light where the new phone camera does really well, especially over its predecessor and the competition. And if you look at the upgrades, these look good but not great on paper. The real improvements in iPhone 13 Pro camera are done on the software side, like macro mode utilizes the ultra-wide camera to capture images as close as 2 cm away. Then there's something called photographic styles, which lets you choose how you want your photos to look, and you have various options available. Then you have the fancy cinematic mode, which gives our videos a bokeh-like background and lets you switch focus between multiple subjects. In my opinion, this is just an oversold feature from Apple, as I don't see too many people using this. After all, how many movies are shot on iPhones? iPhone 13 series features the A15 Bionic chip. It features 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU on Pro models, plus an upgraded Neural Engine paired with 6GB of RAM. iPhone 13 Pro is an absolute powerhouse, way ahead of its Android counterparts. A15 Bionic crushes the Snapdragon 888 Geekbench 5 scores, which proves Apple's quality and expertise with molding silicon. The graphical performance of iPhone 13 Pro is also great. It is claimed to be 50% faster than the competition, and the GPU-intensive titles like Asphalt 9 look great on iPhone 13 Pro. The iPhone 13 Pro stands out for its display. Although the screen's hardware is exactly same as the last year's model, but the notch is slightly smaller. It is a beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR panel, coming in at a resolution of 2532 by 1170, and the colors are extremely accurate with an impressive contrast. You get a really immersive HDR viewing experience with super thin bezels, making it a treat to consume content and play games on this device. And this year, to differentiate between Pro and the non-Pro models, Apple introduced their much beloved technology of ProMotion on their Pro phones. And iPhone 13 Pro finally has a 120Hz refresh rate display, and it immediately pops up the moment you start using the phone. Navigating around the iOS is super smooth, animations seem more engaging, and scrolling through everyday apps is noticeably better. It makes the overall user experience of iOS much more refined compared to older phones. It is difficult to demonstrate this on camera as the changes are subtle, but the refresh rate coupled with ProMotion technology has actually elevated the user experience of iOS without denting the battery life too much. To be honest, I've been very impressed with the battery life. In the beginning, I could easily use the phone for 2 days continuously before having to charge it. It would easily give me 8 to 9 hours of screen on time with general day-to-day usage. But it's not all good. Fast charging is still limited to 20 watt, and it only charges to 50% in 30 minutes when there are phones with much faster charging. When comparing with iPhone 12 Pro, it is slightly thicker to house a bigger battery in it. But the improvement in battery life is most likely a byproduct of incredibly efficient A15 Bionic chips and optimizations in iOS 15 along with a bigger battery. Though the actual battery size is smaller when compared to the Android counterparts, but even with a smaller battery, iPhone 13 Pro does extremely well, even outlasting most of them. iPhone 13 Pro is a powerhouse in a convenient form factor with superior cameras and better video recording capabilities, including things like cinematic mode and macro mode. This phone comes packed with a thunderous performance and an extremely responsive 120Hz ProMotion display, and the battery is one of the best available in the market right now. Overall, this phone offers a great value, although a little bit pricey. Thanks for watching. Peace out.